All right, guys, welcome back. Not even back, but welcome again to the channel. And like I said, I was going to do some horror movie reviews. And with me today, I have my buddy DNJ. Uh,
Hello.
he also went and saw the movie. Today's movie is Halloween, the 2018, not the 78, but 40 years later.
H40.
Yeah.
All right. So I went to see this movie last weekend when it was still relevant, and of course you had to, wait a week to go see it because, you wanted to make sure by the time this review got out that nobody would care about a review on it anymore. But
Yeah. I just,
anyway,
I didn't want
anyway,
to. Oh, go ahead.
oh, thanks for having me on your channel. I'm a huge fan of all your work. What kind of channel is this, by the way? Are
Oh,
are you
yeah.
ju- are you just one of those dudes who just pick on SJWs all the time? But yeah, that's neither here nor there. I can honestly say I've never seen your channel yet.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for your non-watchingness.
Yeah, I really need to actually get after we're done here, watch some of your videos because shit, you've told us about the channel so many times, and we've just never asked what it was actually called or anything. We were just like, oh, that's nice.
I
He's
know
doing that again.
it's like the old grandmother who's like, "Oh, what have you been up to?" And the kids explaining a bunch of nonsense that she has no idea. It's like, "Oh, well, that's nice."
Yeah, definitely. No, I think we're just a little bitter because of what happened to our last channel that we all did together,
Oh yeah,
because of my actions, and
yeah.
I take full responsibility for that.
The people
So
wanted to see boobies. You gave them boobies.
exactly, I did that in vagina and slong too,
Honestly, I
and
think. Oh
full penetration. I
yeah,
mean, and cum shots. You can't forget about the cum
multiple,
shots.
multiple cum shots. No, it's weird. I think YouTube should honestly have a section for specifically like that games that were adult themed. They should just have their own like adult area, sort of.
Man, dude, they're having enough problems just with, people using the word transgender or some shit like that, and they get everything getting demonetized. I don't think we need to be, focusing on that right now.
Yeah, I know. Like you even cuss and you start getting demonetized and shit.
Yeah, thankfully, our channels never get big enough to where we
Yeah.
care about, monetizing off of it. So, anyway, I was gonna have you started out the
Okay.
review and everything because for one, it's your channel. I mean, it's only fair. Plus, it's a little bit fresher in your mind.
Yeah.
I saw it last weekend. It's not a forgettable movie by any means. Just I had a stressful week, and so you go ahead and start, and I'll kind of jump in, when
Okay.
I feel necessary.
Oh, I got you. It was. I really liked the movie. The only I have some complaints and some just kind of general oversights. I guess is it was weird how they approached Michael Myers and then they kind of approached Laurie, and to me it kind of felt like a Mari Povich episode. They're like, Laurie, it's been 40 years since you've seen Michael. Don't you want to see him again at least one more time? Like,
Oh, you talking about the douchebag podcast people?
yeah,
Well, I mean, they're douchebag podcast people. I mean, what'd you expect from that? I will say this about the Michael. His whole opening. It's just that part didn't do anything for me. He's just a psycho in a mental institution. But Lori, her character and how she struggles and how she deals, with the whole PTSD. I think I was telling you about this. We were talking on the phone about it last weekend. Like um, she has a very, I feel, realistic portrayal of PTSD, and somebody who has gotten like zero help for it over the years. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it is just built and built, and she's not well.
yeah. Because they even kind of address that in there too. I can't remember Judy Greer, I think is her name, the
Yeah.
daughter. She even
Hmm.
kind of said, you need help, and you're not coming back into this household until you get help.
Yeah.
And it's just telling her that she needs help isn't really gonna do anything. I don't believe.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And Judy Greer, who's normally plays in comedies and everything, that from what I know her from, I thought she did really good in the movie.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
I mean, she wasn't like an outstanding character. She's not the next Scream Queen or anything like
Yeah,
that. Definitely not. But she was fine, which is surprising for a comedian, I think.
yeah, it's kind of hard for some of them to transition into like a more just normal role.
Yeah,
She was also in, if I remember right, the
she is not the Buster Rhymes of this movie, if that's
nah,
what you're worried about.
fucking
I think it was Buster. Was it Buster in the Resurrection?
yeah,
Yeah, I
sipping
thought so.
Cavassier and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never actually watched that one, so I don't know if he really was sipping Cavassier or not.
I've never watched it either. I just know of it and seen the main scene about it.
Yeah, but it overall, I really liked it. There was a lot more killing this time around. Like they made Michael seem more updated, I guess, in terms of slashing. Because,
Hmm.
like you even told me when you very first watched it, they addressed the, well, he only killed like 5 people. That's not a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah. The granddaughter's friends was talking to her about it. Like, what's the big deal about this guy? I mean, he only killed like 5 people in this day and age. That ain't exactly anything, and that is true. How do you make Michael Myers relevant in this day and age? Especially if you retcon all the sequels. I
Yeah,
mean, so,
yeah.
but you know.
I think a lot of the killings in this one were pretty cool. Like, of course, spoilers for anybody. Like, why would you watch a review and not expect some spoilers?
Yeah, definitely.
If you're expecting spoiler free, get the fuck off of here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
Yeah,
mean, they're spoiler-free reviews, and then there's spoiler reviews. This is definitely a spoiler review.
yeah, definitely. It's I, some of the kills were cool as shit. Like the doctor who got his head stomped. I kind of like that. It was kind of neat, especially like his last words were like, "Just say something."
Uh-huh.
The
Do you think that was them, like, I don't know, almost making fun of the Rob Zombie movies?
I think so.
It was part two when he finally said something. It wasn't fuck, believe it or not, which
Surprisingly,
which was funny because that reminded me of the part with the granddaughter again when she was trapped in the vehicle with the doctor
mm.
after he had already went heel, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
that motherfucker ripped off his shirt and he had an NWO shirt underneath of it.
Yes, yes, basically. And Michael Myers was in the back seat. He was knocked out. From being ran over. And she was like, "Oh, I did hear him say something. He said something to me. What was it? What was it?" About that time, Michael Myers woke up, and she just yelled out, "Fuck!" I
that
was like, I'm thinking that's got something to do with the Rob Zombie movies here.
I didn't put that together, but now that you say that, that makes perfect sense because there was a lot of homages and stuff in this, and
Yeah.
that would tie in perfectly with the Rob
Uh-huh.
Zombie one.
Definitely with the whole obsession with having them talk, and
Yeah,
um, anyway, I did like the killings in the movie. They seemed a little they were very brutal, I
yeah,
guess you could say, even though they weren't over the top.
yeah.
You're not going to see anybody get, split in half or anything like that during this movie. But I don't know, something about the sounds of the killings
Yeah, the
and
squelches and stuff.
yeah, like the noises that it made and everything, and it felt like that's how it should sound,
Yeah,
And it was brutal in that way.
yeah. Especially like the hammer one. I like the sound on that one. That was pretty good.
I think the one lady, didn't she get stabbed right in the back of the neck, and it showed
Oh,
like the
yep.
knife coming out of through her throat?
Yeah, I think that was like one of the first few gruesome because I can't remember if the hammer happened first or if it was that one, but the knife one was definitely one.
It was all during the same montage. I think um, it was like this continuing shot of
Yeah,
just following Michael around, and yeah, it was during that whole segment.
yeah. It was weird too because I noticed like in video game terms, I guess Michael fucking upgraded. Like he hit the hammer, turned around, it's like, oh, you've unlocked the knife.
That's kind of what he was doing. He was like trading weapons there for a minute. He was just like, I don't want that no more. It's got blood on it. Hey, let's take this.
Yeah, Yeah, it was. There was some weird shit in there.
There was. He didn't kill the infant. He looked at it for a second, and it was
Yeah,
like, he kind of turned his head sideways, and he didn't kill it. He just walked away. But at the same time, he killed that like 10-year-old boy.
yeah.
Uh, and I don't know. I don't know what the difference would have been.
Well, he's got morals, so
But he doesn't though. He's
I
pure
know.
evil.
Well, he's
At
evil.
least
Well,
I mean, this ain't. He's not a psycho. I think the whole thing was he's just pure evil. I think that's what they were trying to get at with the whole thing, because that's why the psychiatrist was trying to get him to talk to prove that he's just a psycho, not pure evil. And when it all comes down to it, he's just pure evil.
I think he's 99% evil,
Mm.
almost pure evil. Because if he would have killed the baby, I'd have been on the 100% train.
Yeah. Which one of my biggest complaints with the movie is, you know, for the past 40 years, that dude has done nothing but just stand there and sit there at a mental institution, not doing anything. This dude ain't exactly been lifting weights
Yeah,
or anything like that for the past 40 years. It even shows him out in the yard during his exercise time. He's just standing there.
yeah,
He's not even pacing back and forth. He's not he's not getting any kind of cardio or anything like that. But then this dude breaks out, and all of a sudden he's the Superman basically, and just lifting these people up. This dude is 70 fucking years old.
yeah. He's
I
got that old
mean,
man Riri strength.
yeah.
That was something else that was kind of weird too. Is like, oh man, like, well, like you said, this the strength aspect of it. He almost kind of goes into superhuman territory in a way.
Yeah, see, that's why I believe that the whole thing is he's pure evil, not just a psychopath. I mean,
Yeah,
that could go either way, but I mean, even the psychopaths have to somewhat,
yeah. Have
be.
like a limitation.
Yeah, this dude didn't seem to.
Mm-mm. Get hit with a car and like he's back up.
Man, that was crazy though. No, he wasn't instantly back up after he got hit with the car,
Yeah.
but that was crazy. When he did get hit with the car
Mm-hmm.
on that one, I was like, watch them pull that mask off, and that's fucking old man Ben Tramer under that mask.
That that is my major. That is my disappointment with this movie. There is no mention of Ben Tramer, but at the same time, it's also the redemption for it because I like to believe that Ben Tramer was a nice guy.
Well, Ben Tramer is more than likely the father of old Judy Greer's character, which I, I don't remember her name. I also don't remember the granddaughter's name either.
I don't either. I'm
Uh,
terrible with names.
yeah, me too. I remember when I was watching the movie, I was listening very closely for their names, especially their last names. Is it
Yeah.
Tramer? Is it Tramer? But I was just like, what they got? Michael Myers got hit with that car. I was like, please tell me they ain't gonna pull that mask off and be old man Ben Tramer under there.
It's like we've
Uh,
made a huge mistake. Like I like to think that Ben Tramer has such a good head on his shoulders. I mean, even if he was with Lori, that
uh,
he just kind of realized, Haddonfield is just a terrible place. I am leaving this place.
uh.
And he's out in California now with his own weed dispensary or whatever it is that he wants to do, making mad money.
Well, I mean, the first one was technically California because palm trees aren't in Illinois, that's for sure.
Yeah, ain't no kidding.
Oh, so well, I can't remember if you were talking about it. What are some of your like grievances with the movie? Your complaints, if you will.
No Ben Tramer
Yes,
for one.
definitely.
That's always number one. Uh, I I don't know. For the most part, I really liked it. Uh, just a few of the overtop scenes. Oh, the one that really did kind of make me mad. Not mad, but upset. Uh, the little black kid who's being babysat by the white girl. That whole their dynamic was awesome. I loved the dialogue between them.
Uh,
I was just upset that she died because and I imagine that the little boy was upset that she died too because she was fucking hot.
she was pretty fine.
Like she turned around and boom, her titties are kind of hard. And you know that little boy had to be fucking scoping out, but Michael Myers had to come and ruin it.
I don't remember the hard titties part.
Yeah, there's a few times she turned around, her nipples were kind of hard, but
Uh,
yeah, that,
my main problems with the movies is I like the first act. Um, the it's actually towards the third act where it just really slowed down for me, and it was almost like I couldn't wait for the movie to be over with.
oh yeah,
I know that that's a huge problem for a movie that's only an hour and 44 minutes. It's not a long movie, people. It's actually really short. Um, but I just something about that third act just seemed to drag and drag. But I enjoyed the opening act. One of my favorite parts of the movie was at the beginning, and as generic as it sounds, it's like when the movie first started. You still there?
yeah. I'm still here.
All right, I got a message saying poor network connection, so we'll see what happens. At the beginning, it started off in the mental institution. I was like, hold up, you forgot the Halloween theme song. You forgot the Halloween opening with the pumpkin and everything. And they did the whole thing with the, talking to the podcast people, talking to Michael Myers and showing him the mask and everything. And then it just instantly right into the Halloween theme song and the opening, that I thought they skipped
Hmm.
and made a big fuck up on. And the pumpkin at that one started out, it was all rotted and everything, and then it slowly started coming back to life.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool. I know it's kind of weird and generic, but I enjoyed that.
I liked it too because I mean, in a way, it's almost kind of representative of what the movie, like the franchise of Halloween. Like, oh look, it's all
Yeah,
rotten and
yeah,
nasty, and here we are pumping it back full of life. So I thought that
yeah,
was neat.
yeah. And I mean, the only major, I hate to talk about plot holes and everything because, I think plot holes, I know they get a bad rap, but sometimes they're necessary to just
Yeah.
advance the story. But there's one glaring one that really stuck out to me. So Lori, who's just fucking scared to death of Michael Myers, just terrified, and always worried about him and everything. He was getting transferred, and of course she was waiting outside the institution to see the bus, pull away.
Why didn't anybody ever
Why?
notice
Why
her?
did? No, no. The thing that bothers me is she did not follow that bus till it made it to the location.
Yeah, that.
She would have followed that bus, and that's
Yeah,
a big glaring plot hole to me,
yeah.
And
Somebody who's that obsessed with Michael Myers would have
yes,
followed through with it.
uh-huh, yeah, she wouldn't have just, oh, they left, so it must be fine, No, she knows better than that.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to why the guards didn't see her. She was like just right outside the door,
Yeah,
and that's one thing that I always hate in movies in general is just like poor visibility. They're like 8 feet away from each other. Oh, I didn't see him. It's like
uh,
under normal circumstances you would have seen that car.
uh. But the way they got him and everything at the end it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I
think that
get,
left open for a sequel though.
yeah, because you didn't actually see him burn to death down there or
Yeah,
anything.
as soon as they cut back and he wasn't on the stairs, you didn't see him anywhere in the shot. I'm like, that's grounds for a sequel right there.
Which I mean, it's open to a sequel because I don't know if you heard yet, but it had the second biggest opening of any horror film ever.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Number one, of course, was it last year's It? Was that when it came out, or was that?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if that was a year ago or if that was just this year.
I want to say it was like, oddly enough, it was either summer or spring. It wasn't like Halloween time.
No, but yeah, it's the only movie that's ahead of it as far as openings go is It. So you know, this movie's got positivity written all over it because with It just from last year, that was an R-rated horror film. This year's Halloween, that's an R-rated horror film. They both they both raked it in at the box office, so that's good. We might actually finally start getting R-rated horror films again.
About damn
And
time.
we've missed those. I mean, I am tired of seeing a preview for a horror movie. It's like that might be good, and then you see the rating pop up, and it's like PG-13. It's like, never mind.
Yeah, that's
Don't
they're
want
gonna
to
limit
see
it.
it. Don't want to see it.
And it's weird too because like even PG-13 movies back in the '80s and early '90s, you had some good expectations for them because they were allowed, like they push it to the limit.
Uh huh.
And then it's like, no, we're just gonna settle right in the nook of PG-13 where,
Yeah. It's like all movies are like that's the highest you can get and still make money.
yeah,
I can understand that for like big budget, Marvel movies and everything, like the Avengers and stuff. But not all movies has to make $1 billion. Not
yeah,
all movies can make $1 billion.
Titanic 2, Electric Boogaloo, rated
Mm,
R. This time Jack gets a full frontal.
I'd see it.
I would too. I mean, you'd
I'm
have
still,
to. It's on the
yeah,
screen.
I'm still waiting for the movie of It's Goofy Time.
That would be an awesome movie.
Yeah, I don't. We'll find out what that meme's actually all about.
One drunken day, a disgruntled Disney employee beats the shit out of his kid. And just like you hear faintly, it's Goofy time.
That would be awesome. Oh, but hey, on another note, I bought the Halloween collection.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, that sucker's surprisingly hard to find.
Huh.
Believe it or not, considering it's Halloween right now, the new Halloween just opened up. But I had to go to FYE in
Oh,
Quincy to to buy it. Walmart doesn't have it. None of those places have it.
that is
I,
surprising.
yeah, I mean they have a whole bunch of other films, but not Halloween.
Just like in the movie, the this version's Halloween. It's like everything lined up. It should be there.
Yeah, it's even got the Rob Zombie Halloween movies in it. So
Damn.
I'll let you borrow it sometime if you want. It's
Ah,
a
good.
blue. It's a Blu-ray.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
I still haven't watched the Marvel movies yet.
I know you haven't.
Thinking about just copying them to the hard drive so I can give them back to you and I can kind of leisurely watch them whenever.
I don't know, man. That's an awful lot of movies.
Nah, that's fine.
This take up an awful lot of hard drive space. Well, anything else you want to add to the Halloween review?
Uh, I really liked how they flipped it around where Lori kind of became the hunter. Like the whole balcony scene, she fell over, and as soon as he turned around, because the granddaughter came in the door, I'm like, she's gone. He's gonna turn around. She's off the ground. Sure enough, he turned around and she was gone. So I kind of liked how it kind of went full circle from the first one. Well, obviously it's gonna skip all the other ones, but
Hmm.
and just kind of flipped it around. Like, oh shit, Lori's hunting Michael now.
Yeah, definitely. And I liked the part with Judy Greer's character where she was acting all scared and everything. Like, Mommy, I can't do it,
Yep,
confronting Michael. And it was like, no,
there he is.
gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha, bitch.
I was just waiting for that'd been fucked up. Like, got him. And then the dude with the D's nuts thing come up.
Yeah, that actually would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool ass scene. Like, because especially how she kept talking about how I raised you and I kind of screwed up your childhood and trained you to do this. And it's like she's just gonna buckle down now. And then, nope, she's playing possum.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome possum, if you will. I,
Okay.
I like shitty puns. Yeah, all in all, I really liked it. I'd give it like I haven't really figured out a solid rating system, so I'm just gonna go with like the old school rating system. I'm
Uh-huh.
giving it a B minus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds fair. Uh, I was gonna do like a 7.5 out of 10, but I think that pretty much equals a B minus, honestly. So I'll go with your rating too. There's some slow moments, but overall, I definitely recommend it, especially to fans of the series. Anybody just
Yeah,
that's tired of PG-13 rated horror films, that just wants to get back to the old 80s style slasher films.
yeah.
This is definitely it.
yeah. It
Was there some CG in there? Yeah, I think there was. I think that that scene I said was cool. With the knife through the back of the neck.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, I think that looks CG.
yeah,
Like so. I mean, yeah. So there's a little bit of problems there, but overall, it's a slasher film. Which was the last time a slasher film has ever been relevant?
yeah. Or
I
very
can't, I
good.
can't. Yeah, I can't remember. So
Yeah, it was. Well, I take that back. There has been a few good slashers. There's kind of like a breakout one that came out not too long ago, Terrifier.
I've never even heard of it.
It brings a kind of a new character in, Art the Clown, and it's fun. It's not to be taken seriously. It knows what it is and it plays off of itself, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, man, if you want to make this horror film review a regular thing, I'm game. I actually got a new horror film that I just bought at FYE the other day. It's Leatherface,
Huh.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's not the old '80s one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Yeah.
It's the original. It's pretty much a remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It
Huh.
didn't have. It's only a couple years old. It didn't have a wide release. So, I mean, if you want to make this um, a constant thing, I mean, I'm game for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Cause I like one of my last videos, I said where I was going to change it to mix it up between game reviews and horror reviews. I
Yeah,
mentioned old shitty B movie horrors, anything in between top AAA titles, just about anything.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Sounds good to me.
I'm still waiting for the laserdisc release of the Missouri Weed Whacker incident.
It's been a long time since I've heard anybody mention anything about that movie.
I think it's going to
Woo!
happen one of these days.
On Laserdisc, especially. I mean, come on,
Oh yeah.
that thing's got to be out of print by now. Maybe we'll get into the Missouri Weed Whacker incident on the next episode or something. People's all like, "What the fuck are they talking?" They're googling that shit right
Oh
now.
yeah. All two of them.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I think that's where we should cut the video off then, man. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I do too.
Eh, Uh,
It was pretty good, and I think we gave a
yeah.
lot of insight on it. And
Yeah. All right, man. Well, it's been fun doing video with you again, and you let me know when it goes live, all right?
all right, cool. I'll probably start editing it probably within the next half hour or so.
Cool. Let me know, man.
All right,
Have a good one.
all you too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yep. So that was our review of Halloween 2018. It's surprisingly good. Like it's not just a cash grab, and it feels like they put a lot of time and effort, and it's pretty good. So check that out, and thank you guys for listening. Have a good one.